Welcome back to the Grow Tent. As I always say, this is where all the magic happens. This is my indoor grow tent where I grow all of my own produce aeroponically all year round. When you're growing indoor cucumbers, there are so many additional factors to consider since you're technically recreating an outdoor environment. Today we're going to be talking about hand pollinating indoor cucumbers. Cucumbers are not considered a perfect plant, meaning that the male and female components are in separate flowers. When it comes to an indoor garden, in order for the pollen to be transferred from the male flower to the female flower, human intervention is required. An indoor garden doesn't have pollinators, so it is up to us to get the job done by hand pollinating. Before I get into hand pollinating specifics, there are cucumber varieties out there that are self-pollinating and don't require any additional help.
Here are some varieties you may want to consider growing in your indoor garden if you don't want to hand pollinate.
In the short time that I've been able to successfully grow cucumbers, I've learned a few things that I want to share with you guys.
Most importantly, anatomy.
The more flowers you've got on your plant, the more chances you have at getting cucumbers. Every cucumber plant has two different types of flowers. One is the male flower. It is just a flower on a regular stem. The female flower, however, is the one with the cucumber growing at the base. The goal is to have a good ratio of male to female flowers to make pollination really easy for you.
Next is light.
Make sure you've got enough light. Just like outdoor cucumber plants need a lot of sun, indoor cucumbers need quite a bit of light in order to produce a fair amount of flowers. Even though I have cucumbers growing, I was struggling to get new flowers until I increased my lights and started monitoring my PPFD. The main thing you need to know is no flowers, no pollination, so it's important to do everything you can to maximize flowering on your cucumber plant.
Encouraging more flower growth.
When a cucumber plant is young, it is common that it could only produce male flowers, but if you hand pollinate those, it actually increases more flowering, and as long as you've got enough light and the correct nutrients, you should start to see some female flowers soon.
Nutrients.
One important thing that I just started to learn is the use of CalMag for cucumbers.
My cucumbers are currently on the GH line using CalMag and Floranova Bloom.
In my first couple of grows, I was nervous to start implementing it, but now that I have, I'm finally starting to see my flowers produce pollen, making hand pollination so much easier. It is also common to get a lot of flowers, none of which are producing pollen. I've had a couple of grows where I have both male and female flowers ready to pollinate, but they are not producing any pollen to be transferred, resulting in dried up brown cucumbers.
If the pollen isn't transferred properly, the cucumber looks like it'll start to develop until it shrivels up and turns brown like this one. They don't always necessarily dry up right away. Sometimes they turn a yellowish color and are stunted in growth. That's how you know you haven't properly pollinated. Timing is everything.
In my previous grows, I've been guilty of being a bit of a procrastinator when it comes to hand pollinating my cucumbers. But what I've just recently learned are that the female flowers only remain open for a certain period of time. In my experience, the male flowers typically stay open for 3 to 4 days before drying out and falling off the plant, whereas the female flowers only stay open for about a day, so your time frame to hand pollinate is really short, and it is super important to stay on top of it. I make it a regular practice every morning to clock every single female flower and make sure I don't miss the opportunity to hand pollinate as soon as it opens.
Hand pollination methods.
There are a few methods I've tried when it comes to hand pollinating cucumbers. I have tried a paintbrush, a an electric toothbrush, a Q-tip, as well as using the male flower itself and peeling back the petals. The main takeaways I've learned from my indoor cucumbers this current grow are consistency is key. It is so important to stay on top of hand pollinating and catching any new flowers and not missing any opportunities for hand pollination. I've also learned the importance of perfecting the environment to ensure optimal flowering to even make hand pollination possible, and the use of CalMag and having the proper nutrient levels in your reservoir is key. I've noticed that if I don't use CalMag, I don't get flowers that are producing pollen, making hand pollinating next to impossible. I hope this information was helpful, and if you're into all things indoor gardening, aeroponics, growing your own food, or just good vibes in general, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, follow me to learn more.